Good day, everyone. Our study is titled Development and Evaluation of Crowdsourced Data Disaster Mapping App for Real-Time Infrastructure Results. I am Rihanna Otilato, together with my groupmates Danilo Basco, Lebron de la Cruz, and Haven Mabakiao. And today, we will be presenting our research. This research focuses on designing and testing an application that collects real-time data from the public during disasters. Disasters can cause serious damage to infrastructures, disrupting transformation and slowing down emergency operations. However, the current reporting process often takes time, which can delay important responses and decisions. To address this, crowdsourced mapping offers a more immediate solution, allowing people in affected areas to share information instantly, helping authorities respond faster and more effectively. Next slide.
And today, this is our agenda. We're going to explore this area from the ground up, moving through four key phases. Think of it as a journey from why to the how. First, we'll start with the foundations of crowdsourced geospatial data. This is where we define the concept, look at its history, and understand its incredible power. Next, we'll move into technology and methodological developments. This covers the cool stuff, the tools, and the cutting edge ways people are collecting and vetting this data right now. Then, we'll look at it. We'll look at what I think is one of the most compelling applications, its use in disaster response. How is this data saving lives and helping communities recover faster? Finally, we'll wrap it up with synthesis and gaps discussion. What have we learned and what are the big questions we still need to answer to make this technology even better? Let's get started with the fundamentals. Good day again, everyone. I'm Haven Mabakiao, and today I'll be discussing the foundations of crowdsourced geospatial data. Crowdsourced geospatial data refers to the geographic information gathered by volunteers through digital platforms instead of professional mapping organizations. It has become increasingly significant in transforming traditional mapping and disaster response. In the Philippines, where typhoons and earthquakes are common, disaster risk reduction relies on both real-time information and structured long-term planning. CGD allows citizens to collect and share data using their phones or computers, while frameworks like Vulnerability Assessment Framework provide systematic tools for risk analysis. CGD has revolutionized data collection by enabling anyone, not just government agencies, to contribute information. It is a cost-effective and rapid method that support both environmental monitoring and humanitarian response. However, its use during real-life crises such as Typhoon Yolanda revealed key limitations. Many maps lack new or verified information, reducing their usefulness to first responders. The VAF, on the other hand, offers structured, expert-based data for long-term disaster management. Yet, major gap persists between fast but unverified crowdsourced data and the reliable data required for official planning. Issues such as data quality bias, verification speed, and integration remain unresolved. To sum up, while CGD shows great potential for improving disaster response, it must be made more reliable and compatible with formal system. Future research should focus on developing tools and methods to verify, clean, and integrate crowdsourced data to enhance disaster preparedness and resilience in the Philippines.
Now for the technological and methodological developments. Recent technological advancements have greatly improved disaster mapping and response. Artificial intelligence and machine learning help process large amounts of disaster data faster and more accurately, reducing the time responders need to make critical decisions. Blockchain technology adds reliability and security to volunteer submitted reports, while geolocation allows precise mapping of damaged infrastructures, helping the teams focus on areas that needs immediate action. Mobile application enables citizens to provide real-time updates during emergencies, and collaborative mapping platforms allow responders to share information efficiently, improving coordination. Despite these advancements, challenges remain: limited access to technology in low-income communities, inconsistent or overlapping data, and errors in volunteer reporting can reduce the overall reliability of these systems. These developments highlights both the potential and the limitations of crowdsourced disaster mapping.
So we've established that traditional damage assessment is too slow. Our research shows you how new technology is solving this. On this slide, we see the practical application of these tools in a disaster response. The first and most important is crowdsourcing. This is all about speed. In the critical first 24 hours, this technology pulls data from everywhere, social media, mobile apps, and sensors, to give responders an immediate picture of what's happening. But a flood of data isn't useful on its own. That's where machine learning and geospatial AI comes in. These are the brains of operation. They automatically analyze this data. For example, deep learning models can scan thousands of real-time images shared online and instantly identify damaged buildings or blocked roads. Of course, a key challenge is reliability. That's why uncertainty our frameworks are applied. These are systems that automatically check the credibility of crowdsourced data to filter out noise and create trustworthy damage map. Finally, we have the standardization. In the past, data from a flood was hard to compare to data from an earthquake. Now, unified mobile apps like Steer Unified app allowed all responders to rate damage on a single common scale. This makes the data consistent and actionable. So to summarize this section, this application shows a powerful shift. Crowdsourcing provides the speed, AI provides the analysis, and new frameworks provides the reliability. And now I'll pass the floor over to my group mate who will walk you through the remaining challenges and our overall synthesis.
So for the synthesis and gaps, we found that crowdsourced data really helps a lot when it comes to gathering real-time information during disasters. It is fast, accessible, and allows people to contribute data even without being experts. But the problem is the quality and reliability of the data are still questionable. That's why studies recommend using GeoAI, specifically deep learning and transfer learning to make sure the collected data is accurate and trustworthy. However, most systems today only focus on quick alerts like updates or warnings, but they're not really connected to the official government frameworks that handle long-term disaster planning. So the main gap here is the lack of an integrated system that connects past crowdsourced data with formal disaster management tools. So our study aims to fill that gap by creating a system that can validate, organize, and map citizen reports so they can actually be used by government agencies for assessment and decision making. So that's all. Thank you everyone for listening. I hope our study gave you a better understanding of how technology and crowdsourced data can actually help improve disaster response here in the Philippines. So thank you and have a great day.